That's right, you guys. It is time for probably my new favorite show to react to, World's Strictest Parents. In this one, I think we see the craziest parents so far as they cross the line about 1,000 different ways this episode. But as always, I don't want to spoil too much, so let's just get into it. Make sure you drop a like if you enjoy my content and watch to the end of this one because you are not going to believe what these psycho parents do. Anyways, let's get into it, shall we?
Pointy ass nose, little punk. My name's Nick Matula. I'm 18 years old, and I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. A typical day is going out partying.
So this is Nick. He is the troubled teen in this episode, one of the two troubled teens we're gonna see. All I gotta say is something about this early 2000s core type video, like the fashion that this kid's wearing, or all these kids are wearing, I should say, and just the nature of how he's speaking right now. It totally seems like a skit, but you know, this is really the way that we were. Like, everybody can imagine this kid sitting in his zoomies back in the day, just being a nuisance in public at the mall for no reason with his friends. But yeah, he's already kind of coming off as a D-bag. We'll see how he actually acts in this episode.
When Nick was younger, playing baseball was the only thing that he ever looked forward to.
I was actually really, really good. I saw myself playing for college.
So yeah, this kid's a baseball star apparently, and ever since he fell off from like being good at baseball, he's kind of just been on this path of like destruction. I honestly think it's just him being an angsty teenager. It's something that a lot of us go through. But I gotta say, dude, there's gotta be some scientific correlation here between mothers that had this type of haircut, or even still have this type of haircut, aka the Karen 3000, and having just the most diabolically punk children of all time. Like, you know, this kid, like I said, is one of those people that is just probably rude to people for no reason other than the fact that he's a young teenager and thinks that it's cool. And I just feel like there's something to do with the mom having this haircut that causes him to be that way. Somebody smarter than me, you know, make up some experiment where we can prove that, please.
Our goals on a daily basis are hanging out and skating. Wow.
Sounds like a hell of a life.
Nick's dad doesn't spend a lot of time at home.
And the mom even explains that this kid's dad isn't really in the picture. He's working a ton, so it seems like both these parents just are so like out of this kid's life. And it's the same old story we see with these children that act up, just like back in the day, the type of kids I would see on the Dr. Phil show. If you're a teenager that's acting this way and all of a sudden, you know, the parents are going, oh, he used to be so good at baseball, he was such a good kid, and now he's just such a jerk everywhere he goes. Like, that is a call for help. It's because the kid wants attention and love and support from his parents, which he's clearly not getting because mom's spending all her time and money at the salon getting the worst haircut possible, and dad's overworking whatever job he might do and uses that as an excuse to not connect with his own child. But anyways, I know what the best solution is for this brat. Let's send him over to a psycho family, which we're about to meet, that honestly are the most deranged group of people that I have seen on this show so far. Granted, we've only done a few episodes, but it seems to just get worse and worse every time I react to this crap.
My name is Sam Wright, and I'm married to my lovely wife, Amy, and we have 4 children, Caitlin, Corey, Mason, and Juliana.
Okay, dude, I don't know if it's because of this upload and just the fact that this was originally shot at like 14p, like on a Minecraft texture pack, and then it's, you know, been upscaled and re-uploaded to YouTube 14 different times before I got to it. But these people literally look like the early AI image generation like a couple years ago when it would try to do human faces. I refuse to believe that a single one of these freaking people are real, okay? Maybe I've just hit the pen too hard before recording this, but dude, this is tripping me out.
We have a deep love for each other. We have a love and respect for our God. We are huggers, and we have that as our bedrock.
All right, so apparently they're a hugging family. I don't know why that's weird to like point out as a like key cornerstone of your family's dynamic, but you know what? I guess there's nothing I can hold against that. It's just weird they're kind of running with that as their brand. Like, yeah, we love God, we love each other, and well, we wrap our arms around each other every chance we get. Anyways, they don't seem too crazy yet, but you just hold on, okay? It's gonna get really, really freaking weird here fast.
If you decide to have a bad attitude, it won't go well for you.
Julie, are you done? I want that porch swept. Get back up there and finish it up.
It's an immoral thing to be a lazy person.
That's right. I mean, still not super weird. It's normal to have your kids help out around the house, especially if you live on a big farm, which it looks like these people do. But the person he was screaming at to go sweep off the porch is this toddler here that's over twiddling around with giant sticks in the field, as all toddlers should be doing. I don't really know if she's even capable mentally of like understanding these directions yet. But yeah, apparently she's slacking off, and that just does not fly. As soon as you're able to walk, you better be ready to work in this family, all right?
Our kids are self-starters, but I don't think that happened by accident.
Good job.
When they don't want to be self-starting, we make them start anyway.
Get up about 5:45 tomorrow.
And this is honestly just one of those families where it seems like these parents honestly have a challenge for themselves to see how miserable they can make their children. It's like they wear it as a badge of honor. Yeah, we don't want our kids to be lazy, so we make sure we set their bedtime at, around 5:30 in the morning, even though they don't got to get ready for school until about 7. We just want to make sure they're miserable in the morning and understand that, this grind that they're about to live under capitalism for the rest of their life is not going to be friendly to them. So, I got to get them ready for this terrible work-life balance early. Like, man, what a miserable household to be in. I'm sure these kids are very obedient. I'm not knocking them on that, but I mean, at what cost, dude?
Part of respect is yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am.
Do you mind getting your shoes and clothes upstairs, please? Put them away.
Yes, sir.
And wouldn't you know it, this is a massive correlation between pretty much every family I have seen on this show so far, but they are also obsessive about their children responding to them in only saying yes, sir, or, yes, ma'am, referring to them as sir and ma'am. And it's just so weird that some of these families have that one core value as such an important thing. The way I was raised, you call somebody sir or ma'am as long as they deserve it, but if they disrespect you, like these parents are probably routinely disrespecting their own children, yeah, you don't owe them jack. But of course, these kids would get disciplined if they don't say that, so they just fall in line. But I'm guessing this kid that we just saw is not going to do well with this.
My husband and I feel that it's very necessary to check up on our kids. Oh, I see him.
Don't let them see you.
Yep, this is where the freaking crazy starts. These parents are actually out here stalking their children, following them around, which I gotta say is a lot more difficult back then than it is now. I mean, now you have some of these helicopter parents using that Life 360 crap, tracking their every kid's move via GPS, but no, they're going old school, literally tailing them like it's an LA Noire mission and they're on the hunt for some, deranged criminal. But no, it's just their own teenagers that are probably out doing the most boring, mundane stuff anyways, because you've raised them to be so vanilla and sheltered that they're just like afraid to do anything remotely dangerous. But despite that, and despite knowing it, these parents still are on their every move and don't allow their children an ounce of freedom. That's a little psycho to me.
KQ, we need that truck unloaded.
If the teenagers come in here and try to mess with my parents, and they are going to have a rude awakening.
So according to the girl, there's going to be a rude awakening when these teens show up if they don't listen to their parents or if they don't enjoy their parents, stalking them anytime they leave the house. And needless to say, I expect some big problems to arise. So anyways, let's get into the part where the teenager shows up along with another girl who is a troubled teen that we don't hear the backstory of, but she's not really the main focus of this episode. But yeah, let's see these parents' reactions.
They look snobby.
Stuck up. You're a little preppy boy with his tight jeans on.
I love how this kid is already like clowning the family members before he even sees them. I know that's kind of rude, but I mean, it's just like this dude is playing a character of like what we thought a jerk would act like in the early 2000s, and he's playing it well, dude.
Well, grab your bags, come on in.
My first impressions of Nick and Sadie were very handsome, very good-looking kids, well-dressed.
All right, that's another slightly weird strike on this family. Look, I'm not trying to be the one to misconstrue their words, because I think that's annoying when people do that. Clearly, people say things with certain intentions. I don't think this woman was trying to be as creepy as she came off there, but that was pretty freaking creepy. Also, what does that imply? Like, she would have hated it if these troubled teens were, ugly or overweight or something? Like, oh, thank God these kids are at least good looking, because I'm gonna have to go to the supermarket with these kids for the next week, and I can't be seen around with any, ugly kids. Oh, God. Meanwhile, like I said, she looks like a terrifying early AI interpretation of a Karen.
I would definitely search my own kids' things. Cell phone charger.
We wouldn't want kids, particularly coming from a troubled home, into our home, potentially bringing something.
So they instantly ramp up the crazy as soon as these kids get here. The dad takes them on this diversion, which is just super manipulative and creepy. Showing them the horses, acting all nice, like, yeah, we raise these humble horses. We're just a kind little family farm out here. Nothing inconspicuous or scary going on here. And meanwhile, the Karen 3000 AI version is up in their upstairs guest bedrooms, literally rifling through these kids' belongings without their permission, which I'm not sure if this breaks any laws, but it should. I know this happens on Survivor, but that is a very niche time when I think that is okay. It's literally a game show, and they're sifting through rocks and sticks that these people have in their bags, not just random items that these teenagers you don't know yet, that you just met, brought along with them. They could have private stuff in here. That is just a massive violation of their trust and their privacy, and it's weird that the cameras even allowed this to happen.
As a parent, we really like to know the answers to questions before we ask them also. And so this gives us an opportunity to know some of those answers.
And the way this mother justifies it just makes it even more psycho and scary. She just said, oh, we love to have the answers to questions before we ask them. No, that is not a good excuse for you to rifle through somebody's stuff. And also it's creepy. It's like, yeah, I'm rifling through their things as a way to get them in trouble and to find ammunition to be able to punish them further. Like I said, these parents are the psycho ones, not the freaking kid. But this episode and the way this show is titled and everything always tries to frame the teens as the ones that are bad. But no, these teens are just reacting to how psycho and terrible their new parents are. And I don't blame them.
The things that we expect are that you do things that are morally good and ethical.
When the Wright family started talking about their rules, their tone definitely got deeper.
So this girl even says as soon as that's done and the diversion it stops needing to happen, the dad takes them back and starts giving them a laydown of the rules in their family household, and instantly the tone shifts, their vibe switches, the masks come off, and these parents become these psycho, authoritarian, just terrifying figures that they are, talking about how it's unholy to be, you know, disobedient and all this stuff, and basically just shocking fear to these kids' hearts. I doubt these teens take them seriously at all so far, but yeah, these parents have literally lost it.
We ask for honesty, no lying.
Hard to swallow, isn't it, Sadie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We say yes, ma'am, or yes, sir.
yes, sir.
And there goes the yes sir crap, dude. Oh my God, these parents, you give them an inch and they take a mile. What's the saying? I don't know what it is, but you know what I mean? Like, they literally cannot accept the fact that these kids might not actually respect them or know anything about them yet, because they're kind of coming off as weird literally within 10 minutes of meeting them, yet they're requesting that they call them sir and ma'am for no reason. Of course this kid's gonna say it back, but that's because probably they're scared of the repercussions of what happens if they don't say it. And it's easier to just, you know, crack this fake smile and say, yes sir, yeah, you're the boss, whatever. It's like the same kind of power dynamic that happens with not your main manager at work, but like the intermediate managers, you know, the shift leads that think they own the place as well, and they think they're above you in class just because they make a couple more cents at this measly job you work at, while you both slave away for countless hours making money for your main boss while you don't actually make much, and yet they take that pain out on you by enforcing all these rules and trying to make sure they, you know, show their seniority to you. That's exactly what these parents are doing, and it's completely cringe.
We're going to enjoy each other's company. We're not going to call friends. We're not.
So do you have cell phones?
I'm soft.
No cell phone? So if you had a cell phone, you'd be lying flat out to us if you did.
So now they ask the kid if he has a phone, and he says he doesn't, which it is a lie. He has a phone on him. They actually found his phone charger in his bag, and that's why they're asking this question. And like I said, that is the terrifying part of them searching through the bags, but they were using that as a way to gain ammunition so that when they could catch these kids lying, it was even worse than if they were just lying flat out without any evidence.
We already knew that you didn't have a cell phone inside.
And I knew it was on you because your charger's in there.
I was going through my bag.
So in retaliation, these parents take away this kid's phone, and needless to say, he reacts in the way that I would expect most of us would react if we met these new people after we were forced to go across the country to be on this crappy show because of our attitude, and like our parents signed us up for it for some reason. I'm sure all of us would react the same way. I don't want my personal property being taken, especially my cell phone. This was back in the days before we had, you know, the eye scanner and everything that allows you to just get into your phone. They have access to everything this kid lives if they have access to his phone, and you know they were probably going through all of it, which is not cool.
Back at home, someone took my stuff, I would leave them for bullcrap tour that you gave me yesterday while your wife was going through my bags. I wouldn't have let that happen.
So now it's later that night, and this kid is having a full-on meltdown, which, like I said, is justified in his scenario. All right, I'm on this kid's side. I think he's being a little extreme in how he's phrasing this, but yeah, he freaks out, and these parents don't seem to get why. They think it's just okay that they invaded his privacy and also took his personal belongings without giving him a chance to, you know, say sorry for lying, or without them apologizing for going through his stuff in the first place, which they really should apologize.
Oh, you're going to get it back.
I paid for my stuff. I want it now. I don't want it later. I don't want it at the end of this week.
You're not getting it now. And I'm telling you, there are walls. And you're running into
Someone
one.
better give me my stuff back.
And ultimately, they don't even give him his phone back, and this kid just has to spend the rest of the week miserable with his family while having no access to his phone. I'm not sure how the show could do this or get away with it, but they pretty much send the kid back to his room and frame it in the show as if the kid was unjustified for freaking out this much and, you know, making threats towards the parents after they took his stuff. So yeah, apparently, you know, the dad's correct. The kid just needed to sulk for a while, and I'm sure he'll feel better. Yeah, me taking away his phone is doing wonders to help him as a person, and I'm sure I'm just just a great father all around, is what this guy thinks. I want to know if you agree with him. I definitely don't. I think these parents are terrible and absolutely psycho, but that's where I leave it up to you. So leave your opinion down in the comments. Shout out as always to my patrons, and shout out to all of you that made it to the very end of this video. Comment Grim Squad for life if you did so, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until next time, peace out.